Yeah, I'm live. I am back. Oh, there we go. He's fixing it. There we go. There's chat. Okay. Maybe we get somewhere, somehow. Chat. There we go. Yeah, okay. Okay, you just closed the clockable window. What the hell is, oh, dockable. I didn't click it. Sorry for not being set up. I'm still trying to get to this, used to this live streaming crap, and we're getting closer. We're getting closer to me doing on this on my own, but I think I've got it. I think. I think. Not positive, but I think. Oh, there's just a couple things I want to talk about today. I don't want to put these screws over here. I know I'm going to lose them if I do. So, what was I talking about the other day besides my ramblings about Windows and what Windows is doing that I don't like? Besides everything. Um, as I said the other day, and I don't know how many of you heard me, or maybe some of you did, and kind of wish you hadn't, because I don't know. I don't know if that MSI motherboard works because of that bracket thing that I put on it. Bob and Nate and Joe and all these guys are worried that when I put that bracket thing and I put it on there, it took the CPU pins and just twisted them all. That's what he's worried about. He's just, all those pins that were sticking straight up, they're just all sitting there, all got twisted. That's what he's thinking may have happened. He doesn't think it's going to work. He said that was a stupid thing. Dude, not a stupid, but he said not a smart move to do the hold down bracket thing. He said that depending on how you tightened it down, depends if that thing is going to twist those pins or not. He had one that did that. That's why he knows. That's why he won't use them. He said just put the CPU on by itself. Don't use these brackets. But too late now. I used it and I kind of had a feeling they did what he said. He said because I was tightening it, I think it twisted and it took the. I don't know. I hope it didn't damage the pins, but I don't know. I'm kind of nervous about that one. On Tony's, all I've got to do is I need to find the need to find the, let's see, how do I do this? That one right there. That's the one that Tony William sent me the case. He bought me the case. Thank you, William Dawson. You're awesome. Some other members sent the motherboard and the other parts, so I'm trying to put together a computer so I can. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know why I started this project. Now that I'm thinking about it, I got a motherboard that I don't know if I can use it or not. Simply because Bob and Nate and them guys think I twisted the pins in the socket. I just don't know how I would have done that. And the other thing he noticed, and I didn't notice it, but he did. Yeah, this end of the memory stick on this one here is pointed outward. So this memory stick in this slot here is kind of bent at this end, and I don't know how that happened. But he noticed that. He looked straight down on it. He said that one memory stick at that wet end is kind of like this, except it is kind of like this. So hopefully the connections on the memory are still working, and he straightened it back out and he's pushed it back down in there. But he said hopefully it'll work. But um, so I've got some other RAM here, but something I need you guys to check on for me. Ski Man and all you guys, because I do have, actually, because I'm wanting to change a couple of things, simply because the memory he said is fine, it's just he had to put it down in the rest of the way in, and he thinks when he thinks cracked is the heat shield thing, the upper part of the heat shield. Because the where the gold fingers are, he said that's fine, that's all fine, but he just noticed it was kind of sitting kind of funny. So, where was I going with that? Oh, I'll show you in just a minute, a second here. So this is what we have now in here. Is Team Group DDR 5 Team Group. That's what's in that board. And I want to put in, I kind of just feel better about it. This is what I've always used. Even though a lot of people tell me I shouldn't use it, I do because it works. And it works pretty much in everything. That's what my experience, this is what I've used throughout the years, and this is kind of what I use, but everybody else's opinion is different. Your mileage may vary when you use this kind of memory. It'll work on a lot of computers. It may not work on yours, but yours. I can't do that right. Who's all in chat? Ski-Man, Tipco, hi Rick. Any Mountain Dew today? Yeah, I've got Mountain Dew. Yeah, I've got it. But anyhow, that's kind of what I'm wanting to try to exchange parts on that board because I know, and I know doing builds on live streams is kind of a stupid mistake for me to do because I make mistakes. A lot of mistakes. I'm not paying attention. Trying to pay attention to the live stream, not paying attention to what I'm doing with the computer, so may just do these privately. See, at 2 o'clock in the morning, peace and quiet, nobody here, just bam, 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 boom, get it done. That's how mistakes are made, because I'm not paying attention. I'm paying attention to the live stream, not paying attention to that, and I gotta shut one of them off. So eventually I'll get good at it where I can do a live stream and put memory in it at the same time. But as you saw the other day, I kept doing this with the memory because I wasn't sure which way, because I kept turning it and flipping it. It's like, well, no, it's this way. Nope, it's this way. No. Line this. Nope, it is definitely this way. And I came in and, what was that? Pumped it back out. It looked fine, so I reinserted it. But Bob looked at it and said, no, you need to take that memory out. So, because again, I was looking over at the monitor and doing something besides that, and I had my 2 fingers on the memory, and I didn't hear the right click, and Bob said, well, the reason you didn't is because the heat shield, something in it cracked or something. He's not sure, but said, fingers crossed it'll all work, but he's having his doubts. He said, that's 2 mistakes you've made with building this thing. That's why he doesn't like me building computers. And he looks at me and said, you don't know what you're doing. I do. I've been doing this for 40-some years. How old? He's 60-some years old. He's been doing this a long time. And he said that's why he doesn't let the general public build computers, or he doesn't sell parts, because he doesn't trust in anybody to do it exactly perfectly. He said if you can't do it exactly right the first time, that's why he does. I tried to buy a memory from him years ago, and he said I won't because I'm afraid somebody's going to install it and do it wrong. Well, he made a federal case out of me because he went back to his shop and he told everybody about me. Yeah, Rick put his memory in his computer and he did it wrong. Now he's got to find new memory for it. And I don't think I do, but just on the oddball that I did crack something I shouldn't have. Um, I'll try this. So that's my story of the update on the computer build. Um, as far as the micro ATX board, oh, what do I want to do with that? I don't know. Um, I gotta get an OS on it, and then because that's just gonna be used for storage. I'm not gonna use that for internet stuff or anything. It's just gonna be transferring all the videos from this computer and the one in the bedroom to that. All the videos that I've made in the last 3 years are gonna go on that micro ATX board that um, Cooler Master Q300L. I mastered to say the model number. I didn't think I'd do it. Yeah, that's the Q300 Q300L. Am I saying that right? Let me take a look. Let me see if I'm right. Make it yours. The Master Box Q300. Yep, I did say it right. Q300L. I don't know. And I've got way too much Ethernet cable. 1,000 feet or whatever it was is way too much. I needed a lot less. I only needed maybe like 60 feet to go all the way around this room. I didn't need 100 feet. But oh well, I've got it in case I need it, but I've got way too much. I may end up having to sell that to somebody and go and redoing this again in a shorter. Because I've got it all wound up in the top up there, big huge coil of flat Ethernet cable, and it's just sitting up there getting dusty, and I don't like that. But I need somebody up here to measure properly from about here, the wall length from there to there, this entire wall length of the register, up the desk, on the back of the desk, all the way across the top to where the router is at this end. Got to be some way of magically measuring that so that I know how many feet I need instead of having 85 feet coiled up on top of my desk not being used. I didn't really like that idea, but I didn't know how much I needed. And he said, well, 100 feet, do you? I was like, that's way more than I need, but I don't know how much I actually do need to make it nice and tiny and pretty per HRA standards, which means you can't have the cable like it is now under the register. That they'll X me for that. If I have it this way next year on inspections, I'll get an X for that. That you can't have it just loosely under this. All has to be tied in, stapled into the wall, make it nice and pretty. Hidden is what they want. And then go up the wall, over to the desk, across the desk to the other side to where the router is, and I just plugged it into the back of the router. But I didn't know how much I needed, so William said, well, 100 feet, do you? I said, sure. Better to have too much than too little. Well, having too much is too much. And I don't need that sitting on top of my desk doing nothing. So, I know I'm talking a lot about my desk, but this area here is eventually going to be the studio. I'm going to have a light here, an O-ring maybe back. I don't know. Again, some of you people out there are the experts on doing lighting and natural light versus electric light. Some of you guys know better on that than I do. Eventually, I'm gonna get rid of this couch. I know I keep talking about it, and I apologize, but someday this will disappear. This table is gonna get moved over to where the couch, the love seat, rocker recliner, stupid thing, whatever this That's going to get moved over to here. Eventually, what I want to do is have Brett make me a new one. New flat top table. 50 inches long. 23 and a half inches wide. From there to there. It'd be about 54 inches long. 23 and a half inches, 23 and a half inches wide. And 4 squared legs on it. And it'll sit right there. 29 inches tall. That's the plan eventually. But that damn thing's gotta go. And I really can't do anything, guys, until this magically disappears. When this love seat couch thing disappears, yeah, I can move forward. But that love seat thing here takes up so much room that I've only got an aisleway, maybe. Well, let's measure how wide is that? I don't got much room here, guys. Not much room at all. That only leaves me about 4 feet in width right here. And that's, to me, not enough. You need about 6. So, for me, I need 6. I'm a skinny guy, but yeah, I need 6 feet width-wise to walk and not be tripping over things. So this needs to be widened. This is only about, maybe about that short of 4 feet. That's not wide enough for me. I need something wider. I'll do something, guys. I'll do something. I'm not the creator of studios. I don't know what I'm doing, so that's why I'm kind of reaching out to you guys and saying, hey, I need help. Can you guys give me some suggestions as to how to do this? Because I don't know what I'm doing. It'd be a nice table. Yeah, that's one of 2 tables I've got. The one that I was using is what the TV is sitting on. And that's why I have to have Brett make me a new tabletop, because the one see that TV in the back, where that TV is sitting on, that thing is actually bowed in the middle. It's actually, you can see the little bit of a bow in it. So I'm surprised that's holding the TV, to be honest with you. I am surprised it is still sitting up there. I thought it would have fallen over by now. It just crashed to the floor, but it's holding its own so far. I'm not going to keep it on there forever. I'm eventually going to get rid of that table, desk, whatever you call them. It used to be in an office. I'll say that. It used to be in an office. Because that's where Mike got it from. He went over to the office and cleared out their furniture, and he said this was one of them. He asked me if I wanted it. Well, sure. At that time, it was in the living room, or bedroom. Actually, on this wall, the opposite wall that this desk is on. It's just on the opposite side. And that's what I was using for my speakers, my monitors, the keyboards. But eventually, every time I put a pencil in the middle of the table, it would just, the pencil would just do this on the desk. It would just roll back and forth until I just flicked it off. So I need to get something different. And then I can start doing computer work kind of the way I want to, back against that wall. Back against this wall. That's where I want to do all my computer work, and hopefully get mobile cameras and have them over there so you can see me doing my work. And just, it's the way it is now. You guys can't see over there, clearly. And this webcam is kind of stuck where it's at. That's why I was asking for a webcam cord USB extension. Another, I don't know, how many feet do you think it is from here to there? To that table. Say like 6 feet, 7 feet. So I need an extra length of 7 feet so I can pick up the webcam, put it on the table that's close to that table, and aim it down towards the motherboard so you can see me doing things. It's just that's not practical right now, and I'd like to at some point, but I've got old furniture, guys. And I don't have the setup. See, I'd like to have Jim set up. Jim KG39. His setup, man. I'd love to have that. Love to have his basement. I'd just love to go steal his basement, take him out of his house, and say, yeah, it's all mine. Yeah, but there's a lot of things I'd like to have that other people have, and I don't, and I'll just have to live with it. Sorry for talking so much. I should probably pay attention to you guys and shut my pie hole, huh? Yeah, yeah, as far as old furniture and repurposing, I need to get something that will work. That's all I need to do is just get something that'll work. Um, See that table. Look at the legs on that table. Does that look familiar? That crossed legs on that table. Does that look familiar to you? Well, if you're thinking that table came from a restaurant, you'd be correct. It did. That's a restaurant table. I don't know where Jackie got it from. I don't know where her dad had it from. I was just looking for a table for the living room, or no, not living room, bedroom. But that wasn't it. That table wasn't gonna be it. That's gonna be used as the workbench. But as far as the table or workbench or something for the bedroom, that wasn't gonna work. So, and also, you notice, look right there. The leg, that round leg thing that sits at the end of that leg thing right there, it's missing. So I had to put that board underneath it. That's just as wide as the leg, and I stuffed that under it to stop the table from doing this. It'd be wobbly. I put that board under there, and it's just nice and stiff now. It doesn't sit there and wobble like it used to, which annoyed the hell out of me. And I couldn't figure out why. And somebody said, well, the leg support thing is missing on your one. Like, what? So I tipped the leg, and sure enough, there's no, whatchamacallit on the bottom of that table for it to, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know anything about tables and restaurant tables, but for some reason, it's got a wobble to it. There you go. Am I doing okay? Yeah. Shimmed. Yeah, it's shimmed. That's what I did with it. Yeah, actually, it's a little too big. It's actually up a little bit too high, but man, before I take it, yeah, that's not gonna work. That's a little better, but I have to. I'll have to figure out something. I noticed that it's in a little too far, so I pulled it up, but that's not gonna help any. But the table is nice and solid, which is what I need because when I'm working on stuff and screws start rolling off the table because the table's sitting off at an angle. No, thank you. So I had to do something, and that kind of works, even though this end is a little higher than it should be, but it works. It works. It works. It works. Yeah, crooked pictures on tables. No, you better not let me see them. That would just drive me up the AWOL. I'd be going throughout your house, straightening every single picture. Because that is one thing that fucking annoys me is crooked pictures. That I can't stand it. I can't let it go. If you got a crooked picture in your house, it's gonna get straightened. I can't stand crooked pictures. Oh my god, that annoys me. And again, I do apologize for saying it that way, but it does. Crooked pictures annoy me. I will go through your house. I'm going to straighten that picture, that picture, that picture, and that picture. They're all crooked. No, they're not. Yes, they are. Which most of the time I don't even bother. I see crooked pictures, I just sit there and I smile and I just laugh. How can you people have that picture on the wall when it's crooked? And mind you, the bigger question is why? But then if you were to look at my pictures, some of mine aren't exactly perfectly straight either. And I'm not going to get a laser line and make them perfectly straight. Mine are just maybe a smidge off. But they're not like this. I can't stand that. The picture's sitting crooked like that. No, I will physically straighten it. And I'll apologize for doing so, but I'm sorry. I've got to fix something. I'll just... there. And I know I shouldn't do that. And I have had some people get mad at me. Why are you straightening my pictures? Because it's crooked. So what? You can look at a crooked picture on your wall. That old lady said it never bothered her for 24 years. Okay. Sorry to have bothered you. I can't see how you can look at a picture like that sitting crooked for 20-some years. How? I'm sorry, but maybe it's just me, but I'm picky. If a picture's gonna be on the wall, have it straight. Yeah, I say a little bit of different language when I'm lifting and moving furniture. So I can't tell you exactly what I just said, but it's back off. Shouldn't be moving stuff this with my back, but who else is gonna move it? Nobody. That kind of leaves everybody out of the picture because there's no one else to help me move it. And then Gary, my neighbor, he'll call me and say, "Why didn't you call me and ask?" Because I don't want to bother you. This is only going to take 2 seconds. Well, next time, call me. Did I call him? No. I can move it on my own. I may pay for it in the end, but I can move it on my own. Thank you for the suggestion, though. Much obliged, but I'll move it on my own. That's how we earn our independence, ladies and gentlemen, as we do things on our own. You don't need help. You just do it on your own. God, see these screens, doing this crap, this is going to bother me. But thank God it's going under that desk when I get this up and running, and I'm never going to touch it again. But this here, this bothers me. This removable screens is good, but when they can do this, no. I'm sorry. They should have tacked those in place. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you like the screens that can just move all over the place, or you like the ones that are intact and you have to pop them up off out of? I like the ones that you have to just pop the edges up to get them off. These are just magnets. That's all this is. It's just magnet. Crappy. Very crappy. But like I said, after I get it up and running, it's going to sit off in a corner. It's going to get buried. And all it's going to be is my server for my movies, TV shows, and my movies that I make for... I didn't start recording. God damn it. Yeah, I started recording now, so... I'll remember to do that at tomorrow's live stream. Hit the streaming button, go to manage broadcast, get that all done, and then remember to hit the start recording. So, I'm a little late on that, but the YouTube live stream started quite a while ago. I just wanted to record it and I didn't, because I just hit record. Damn it. Why didn't one of you guys remind me? Did you hit record? No, I didn't. Let me get that done. Click. But then you guys probably didn't know I want it recorded. But every live show from now on, you guys need to remind me, every live show that I do from now on is going to be recorded. So just put the question out there. You hit the record button? Because I'll bet you I didn't. Today's a prime example of that. I didn't do it until just now. So, what am I going to do with this time? You know, AJ said, Jay's 2 cents, not AJ. He said to take that bracket thing off and just push this power supply forward and all the screws will look. Not on this one. I think with theirs, what they did is they flipped it upside down so the fan was up. And I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. As he said with these micro ATXs, the bracket thing you just take off and slide the power supply forward where you put your 4 screws back in, but the 4 screws in this frame don't line up with the power supply because it's off center by about that much, by about a ½ inch or so. A 1/4 of an inch, sorry. Just that much, just a smidge. And it won't, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. But I just wanted to mention that when I watched Jay's 2 cents the other day, he said, thing you should do with these micro ATX cases is take that casing thing on this power supply, take that off there, then slide the power supply. But mine don't line up the way it's supposed to if I do. I tried that twice. It don't work, so I'm just going to leave it. And I texted him too. I've got a number I can text him. I said, well, what about the... He's not familiar with this, so he was just talking in general case, but I asked him about the Q300L or whatever. He wasn't familiar with it, so I didn't know if that applied to this case or not. Apparently it doesn't, because when I move the power supply forward, the 4 holes in the back don't line up with the 4 holes here. It's like this one should be up here, this one should actually be here, this one should be here, and this one should be up here. Because that's it is how on the power supply, so I can't do it that way. Everybody tells me to do it that way, but I told Bob, he came over and said, why do you have that adapter plate on there? Just remove it. Because the power supply won't line up with these holes. He said, yes, they will. No, they won't, so he took it off. Son of a bitch, you're right. You'd have to flip it up. Yeah, I don't want to flip it upside. I said, yeah, he said, this thing up a cheap case, that's all it is. Like, yeah, I know. You didn't want to believe me why I had it set up that way, so I said, you take it off and try putting it back on there. And he said, yeah, son of a bitch, it won't line up with the power supply. So he put it back on there. I prove him wrong every once in a while. Not very often, but once in a grey moon, I prove the son of a bitch wrong. He is just so stagnant at me being wrong and everything, and every once in a while I prove him wrong. He had to scratch his head about that one. He didn't understand. He said that should line up, and he said, yeah, but it won't. Yeah, obviously. Oh, what was I gonna do with this? Clean the CPU is what I was gonna do. I'm gonna stop talking, get some crap done. Which I need to get more alcohol. I'm almost out. And I need to avoid all the cuts on my hands. I got that there, yeah, I gotta be careful, because I will, yeah. Alcohol on cuts? No, thank you. No, thank you. I'll avoid it. Not unless you want everybody on this floor to hear me. Because when an alcohol hits a wound, believe me, people on 3rd floor will hear me. Because that will sting like a mother. You finish the sentence. I've never had the pleasure of doing that. I normally don't like messing with alcohol. I don't like the smell of it. I just don't like it. But to clean the CPU properly, as Carrie Holzman would say, you must use alcohol and Q-tips. Well, I don't know. I guess it's debatable. I've seen a lot of other people on YouTube use plenty of other shit besides alcohol to clean their CPUs, and it works. The one stuff I don't suggest though using, and that's Goo Gone. Don't ever put Goo Gone on your no. That isn't abrasive. You will scratch the living out of your CPU. So please don't use Goo Gone. And then a scratch pad or whatever that guy used on that one YouTube video. Thank God he wasn't live, because I would have yelled at him for, what the hell are you doing? You don't use Goo Gone on a scratch pad. Oh, there's some idiots on YouTube. I've seen some people do some bad things with computers. Not that what I do is any better, but I've seen some people do some stupid things. Very, very stupid. But like I said, not that what I do is any better, but I don't do what they do. Goo Gone and a scratch pad to get the thermal paste off. No. Yeah, letting the CPU will come off, yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of reasons you do not do it the way that guy did it. And like I said, if he had been live, oh my, I would have had words for him. I would have told him point blank, hey, stupid F, what the F are you doing? You do not effing put Goo Gone in a scratch pad to a CPU. What the fuck are you saying? I'm sorry, it's comical to me. It's just comical to me. People will go to that length to I just don't understand human beings. And the other thing I've seen people do, not that it's always a bad thing, but they take those plastic scrapers and they go across their CPU to scrape the thermal paste off. Yeah, don't do that either. Paper towels, alcohol is all you need, really. That's all you need to clean it. You don't need to do what some of these other idiots have been doing. And they're like, what the human beings, I just don't understand them. And I've seen people do some awfully stupid things. But that was the top of the list right there. Goo Gone and a scratch pad. But he said at least he had it clean. Yeah, and wiped all the lettering off, and yeah. I would not have done that, but it is what it is, guys. There are some people that just do things it just makes me shake my head. Like, why? Why did you go through all that effort to do it wrong? That's what I don't get, is why do people go through the effort that they do and then they end up doing it wrong? I'm sorry, but that just makes me shake my head and scratch my head thinking, what is wrong with you? All that preparation, all that time they took, and in the end, they find out they did it wrong. I'd rather do it right the first time if it were me, but that's just me. I'll get the comments in I'll get the comments in a minute, guys. I want to make sure this is up to satisfaction here. Well, that was just a little dirty. I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that I'm going to go through that one more time. Just to make sure I've got it. I want to make sure that's perfectly clean. It's been sitting over on that table uncovered, and the dust has been getting to it, and the dirt, and the bugs, and God knows whatever else got on top of the CPU, so I'm going to make sure it's perfectly clean. God, I hate the smell of alcohol. Oh. don't like the smell of the stuff. And I smell it in the hospital, and I'll tell you what, I don't like the smell of alcohol. Walking down the halls of an emergency room and all you're smelling is alcohol, cleaning swabs, and just, uh, wow, that was dirty. Holy shit. That was dirty. Oh, hello, Long Dog. Hey, Jeff. And to everybody else that joined the live stream. Hello. I'll probably be going to maybe about 3:30, maybe quarter to 4 today. I don't know. Depends on how long I want to bore you guys. And I know I can be quite boring, but when you work, you work. When you talk, you talk. There is a difference with me. So when I work, I don't talk. Unlike some other people on YouTube land that we know that just can't contain themselves and they just. Enough said on that subject. I'm not into insulting people. I'm just making a note of it. There's YouTubers out there that will just stand there and talk for 3 or 4 hours and then get mad that they didn't get any work done. Gee, I wonder why. I was trained better than that. Yeah, you heard me. I was trained better than that. I was trained, and still believe it today, depending on where you work, is when you work, you don't talk. You talk when you don't work. You talk on your breaks. You talk when you're not at work. When you're working and do working, or when you're at working, when you're at work doing what you're supposed to, you're not talking to other people. That's the way I was trained. When you work, you don't talk. Some people try to do two at the same time, and that doesn't turn out well. All right, I think I got that clean. No bond at all, right? No, you're fine, Ken. Just as long as you stop in every once in a while, just say hi and make sure the trolls are staying out of here, which I don't know if that guy's back yet. But yeah, if you guys see that troll guy back, let me or Ken know, and one of us will take care of it. Because I tried the other day, winter mute, and I couldn't do it. It would not let me. It just would not let me. So if you guys see a troll, just put it in the comments and exclamation marks TROLL. And I'll see it, and then we'll just go after it and delete them. I don't like this. I keep wanting to pick this up and see the screen wants to come off with it. You know what? I want to leave the screen off of it. That is going to be an issue. I didn't plan on that being quite that irritable, but I can see having the screens on this is going to irritate me, so I'm just going to leave them off. And the update on the Z3 or Z690 or the MSI board, I don't know yet. Barb and I kind of talked. I was kind of distracted the other day when I was building that thing, and he said, I think you pushed the damn thing. Then hold down support bracket. He thinks when I put it up on, and which, depending on what screw I started off with, he thinks I may have twisted the pins. Neither one of us want to take the CPU back off to see just how many pins in there I twisted. But he doesn't like those hold down brackets. He said it doesn't come down squarely. It likes to turn or whatever. And he said I should have called him first and said, I've got one of these hold down brackets. You know how to install these? Like, Not safely, I don't, because it's wrecked the CPUs he's put it on. Or the pins, the socket. The pins were all wrecked when he shot it twice, and he said he's not doing it again, so he really didn't want to tell me. Maybe it was something how he's never worked with the things before, so maybe he did it wrong, maybe I did it wrong, but I don't know. I just know people want to see me fire that thing up, but I just don't think it's going to do anything. That's why I don't want to. I think I kind of foobarred it. It's all because of that stupid bracket thing, and I twisted the CPU with it in the socket. I don't know how I did that, but he's pretty sure that's what happened. So, with this, see, now in this case, I'm going to show you something else different here. I know you guys can't see anything. This is why I need lighting. Need help on lighting so you guys can see all of this. But this is where the first hard drive would go. This is way up here. But I've got the 24 pin going through here. There really is no other place to put this 24 pin connector. Because if you go down here, then you're in this hard drive. So I was going to put two 16s in here, but it looks like I can only put one 16 in here because the 16 up here, it ain't going to go. Not with this 24 pin connector here. You can't put it down. It won't stretch up there. There's a lot of goof ups with this thing that I don't like. Maybe I just got to twist this 24 pin thing. I don't know. Just for now, I can't use the upper hard drive bay. I think I can use the lower one because it's got the four. It's got this wire here. See, I got to do something with this wire. Then maybe. I don't like that at all. Do not like it. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I am going to change that because that is going to be a problem. I didn't think it would be until now I'm looking at it. Think, yeah, let's just move that. I didn't think that was going to be an issue, but now that I'm looking at it, it ain't going to work. I think I'm using the wrong screws too. There's another screw never to be seen again. God damn it. Hoping I wouldn't drop it, but I just did. I'm gonna see if I can get this fan re-secured to the. No. That's what I was afraid of. Exactly what I was afraid of. What it's gonna have to do. Well, that's gonna bug me. That is going to bug me. I can't put it down here either. So I guess the only option I have is to. Yeah, just give me a minute, guys. Here, I'm just trying to think of things here. I noticed a problem, but I'm trying to figure if. I bet you that won't stretch over there either. There's issue number one. I was hoping that'd work differently than what it did, but it's not going to, because that won't stretch down to that one. I have to go all the way across, then come down, then back over to this fan header right here. That won't work. Um, Interesting. Um, Wish they had one more fan header out here on this side instead of the one that's over here where I need to get it to, and I bet you it won't stretch. I can't move that over any further. I can't go up. Interesting. The only option I have for that is I may have to get a splitter and just tie both fans into that one up here. I don't want to do it that way, but these are also 3-pin. I may have to swap these out for 4-pin. Get 120 and a 140. Right down that is parts that I need. A 120 and a 140. Yeah, sorry guys. It's just when I get into working, I don't get into chat, and when I don't get into chat, I don't get into working. So it's one or the other. So get with you guys here and chat here, talk with you guys for a bit. Kind of let you know what I'm mumbling about. The rear fan, or no, not the rear fan, the front fan. That cord is about that short from making it to the header that I need it to go to. It's just about that short. It just won't stretch. I'm not seeing a clear way of rerouting it so I can get it to that header. It just won't look as clean as I want it. Thank you, Ken, for keeping me up on the live stream. Bangles. Ken's not live. Something YouTube personalities are such a level that I can't stay up with them. What? I know it's a note to Ken, but I don't understand that bangles. Sometimes YouTube personalities are on such a level that I can't stay up with them. YouTube personalities. They're at a level that you can't keep up with them. What the hell are you talking about, Long Dog? Personalities? Never mind. I'm not gonna get into it. You lost me there, so. Yeah, so how am I gonna fix this? Yeah, I know I don't need a front fan, but being I've been so adaptive to it in the last 3 years, I've always had a front fan, so might as well stick with tradition and put a front fan up there, even though I know I don't need it. I know I don't. I just gonna put one up there anyway, even though I know it's a complete waste of time. I'll put one there anyway. I kind of have a tendency to do things that are a waste of time, and that's my waste of time, you guys, not yours. So I know I'm not supposed to have a fan up here, but oh well. I'm sure it won't hurt anything. I'm sure it won't do any good either, but it ain't gonna hurt anything. That's how I look at it. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. It ain't gonna hurt anything. Right? Right. Seriously? I didn't know that. Learned something about my alcohol had a flip top lid. I didn't know that. Thirsty. I'd rather have Mountain Dew than alcohol. So that's what I'm gonna have is my Mountain Dew. 2.5 gigahertz. The pop top, yeah. I didn't know it was like that until I just felt an edge and like, what the hell's like? Oh, it's a patch. Never knew that. All this time I had that. I never knew you could do that. I just bought it and unscrewed the damn thing, not realizing it had a pop top to it. Duh. Yeah, I can be awfully dense at times, I know. Other people would notice that right off the bat, and I don't pay attention to particulars like that. I just don't. So where'd the covering thing go for the CPU? It's supposed to be on the end of that? That's bare metal, that's all about. There's... Didn't they have a protecting thing on here? You think they would. I don't see one. So how'd this stay as good as it is if there's not the plastic? Wait a minute, how would you put that plastic thing on there? Maybe that's why they didn't, it's because they couldn't. Hmm. Interesting observation, George. That actually gonna fit on there? Looks like it will. I don't know. Closer, maybe you guys can see, and that's why I gotta close the live stream early because it's gonna start getting dark here in about it's 3 o'clock, 3:30, quarter to 4, 4 o'clock. Yeah, I don't know. I'll see how the daylight goes, and we'll go from there. I just know I need studio lights, and that apparently has been a no-go subject for the last couple of years. I've asked about lights before, and I don't know. Maybe nobody knows. And I sure as the heck don't. I'm this all to hell. This goes on the bottom of this, which I think I'm just going to leave off of here. See, that's all bent up, and this is what you get out of cheap cases, guys. This is going to be no thinner or thicker than a piece of paper. And that's how easily it bends. You just do this to it, and it bends. That's all it takes with this thing. You flop it around like this, it's gonna bend on you. Just throw it away. You don't need it. It's garbage. Now I need to these filters are gonna bother me. They're gonna find themselves in the trash if they're not careful. This here is just put the front one off. I'll just leave the top one on. And eventually the top one also may disappear. And where is the CPU header on this stupid thing? I didn't look that up. I didn't look see where the CPU header is for this fan. I gotta find that. But first, I need a flashlight. I need a flashlight because I can't see them. They're just pitch black. Pitch black, I say. Pitch black. This flashlight is about as useless as a grandmother's. Never mind. I won't go into it. Oh, CPU fan header, where are you? You should be in the vicinity of the CPU. But you know what? That's not where it's at. Come on, really? You're gonna hide it on me that good that I can't see it? Wow. They did hide it on me. Wow, I don't see it. It's all USB on the bottom. You got to be kidding me. They did not give me a CPU fan header. They had to have. I'm just not seeing it, right? They had to have given me a CPU fan header. And then where? Wow. It's almost impossible to read this one. Aha! Wow, it's way over there. It's down by where the HD audio is. That's where the CPU fan header is. Like, why would they put it there? But that's where it is. It says CPU fan right next to the HD audio. What the? Okay. This is gonna be a trick. Get the wire all the way around in the back, coming up through in behind. How the hell am I gonna do that? Cause I wish for the last 15, 20 years that he can figure out why I cannot sleep. You know, Long Dog, I used to have that problem. In fact, every once in a while I still do. Um, yeah, ever since I was a child, my parents can tell you I could never sleep at night. That's the biggest problem they had with me. They'd be all sleeping, and I'd go downstairs, turn the TV on a school night, mind you. Then I had to get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and 12 o'clock I go back downstairs, turn the TV on because I can't sleep. That didn't go over very well, and after about 5 attempts of doing that, my dad, I don't know, permanently stopped me from watching TV. So, why did they put the CPU fan header where they did? It makes no sense why they did that. There's no way. I guess I can. I don't want to do it that way. See, I'm kind of like Carrie. I would like, I would like my Intel logo to be sitting up where when you look in there, you can see it. You can read the word Intel. But to do that, no, that won't work. It will not stretch, and I can't go in behind the board and pull it all the way down so it's invisible. Hmm. Why is this so short? This would help. It was about another 2 inches longer. That would really be a great help. I don't know. What would you guys do? Just stick it in there and leave the wire? Because I can't go behind the board. There's not enough of this. So I can't cable manage it. And I want the logo so you can read it. But if I do that, there's no way. Yeah, I don't want to do it that way. Maybe I can go this way with it. I guess it would have to go on that way and just put the. Oh, I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I want to hide this wire, but yet I can't. Not quite long enough for me to do that. So, come on, read what you guys are saying. Long Dog, have you ever tried trazodone? I mean, if you get enough trazodone in you, it'll knock out a fucking horse. So I'm sure if they gave you 150 milligrams of it at night, it'd knock you out. Because I've got a lot of trazodone, and then that's what I do is at night is I just take 150 milligrams and night. Whether I've had Mountain Dew or not, I take 150 milligrams of trazodone night. There's no option for me to stay up any time past that because I will be sleeping within about 20 minutes. Hardcore. I mean, I don't wake up for at least 4 hours. And then after that, I start to slowly wake up. But yeah, I'm talking to your doctor about there's trazodone. That might be a little hard in your system because you gotta eat something with it, or you get a really nasty stomach pains if you don't. That's the only downfall of trazodone. So if you don't eat something, you take that trazodone on an empty stomach. Oh, let me tell you the horror stories I've gone through in doing that. It's the only downfall to trazodone. You gotta have a full stomach, or you'll have the worst stomach pains. So, I don't know, Long Dog. I would talk to your doctor or talk to a sleep specialist, and I'd get to the bottom of that because not sleeping at night, that's not healthy. That's not a good thing to do. You need to be getting at least 6 hours of sleep a night. And if you're not, then I'd search the United States high and low to find a way of getting at least 5 hours of sleep. That's my opinion. That's just what I would do. That's what I did. And I eventually found something. Also, Long Dog, I don't know if you're aware of this. I'm going to stop the computer stuff here for a minute because this is kind of a subject that I've touched on for quite a while. It's from my teenage years to like 6 years ago. I couldn't sleep worth shit. I'd lay in bed staring at the ceiling all night. And I went to uh before I went the smart way and I went to the doctors and I asked for help. I was taking everybody else's advice. Oh, you should go to Walmart. You should try these little pills. They're natural, so they'll work better. I tried that and I got this aching pain in my arms. So that didn't work, and they didn't understand that because it's all natural stuff. Why would that cause your arm to hurt like that? It's like, I don't know, but I can't take it. I don't remember the stuff of that. It was Walmart has it. Someone had me try some of it. That didn't work. So over the counter stuff for me doesn't work. All the stuff at Walmart that says that'll put you to sleep doesn't work with me. All the stuff at Target, you go to Target, all their over the counter stuff doesn't work with me. 60% of what doctors use on me to put me to sleep don't work on me. They've tried 70,000 medications to put me to sleep. So my psychiatrist I used to see many years ago, she said, "Well, there is trazodone. It's an antidepressant, but it is also a sleep depressant." So she said, "Just keep pumping the volume on that trazodone until he falls asleep." They tried 100, I'd stare at the ceiling all night. They tried 120, 25, I'd stare at the ceiling all night. They tried 150 or whatever, something in between that. It's 150 milligrams. That now, after about 20 minutes, I'll fall asleep. But there again, it's got the side effect of you gotta eat something before you take it because if you don't, ooh, ouch. Not fun to take trazodone on an empty stomach. That's the only downfall. Other than that, for me, it worked great. It maybe for you it doesn't, but it does for me. It knocks me out. Yeah, I don't know about that ski man. I've known a lot of people that have been on trazodone, and after about 10 minutes, they couldn't stay awake. I know there's a few they say they can't work, but my doctor's looking at me and saying, "How can it not work? Trazodone does one thing and it does it well. It knocks you out." So she's not understanding somebody taking 50 milligrams of trazodone they can't fall asleep. She doesn't understand that because that's the one thing it will do is it will knock you out. At least for some people. I just don't see how it can't work for some, but I know it doesn't work for some. I know my sister, she can't take it. She said, "Oh, that just give me the jitters all night." She just sat there and shook in bed all night. She couldn't take Trasnow. So I know some people it doesn't work, but for people to take it and say it didn't put them to sleep at all or make them tired, my doctor would like to examine that person because she doesn't see how that's possible. There are side effects, yes, that stop you from, but it not putting you to sleep. There's something wrong if they're saying it doesn't put, because eventually it will. I don't know. There's medications that people have told me to take, and they say they swear to God it'll work, and it doesn't do shit to me. So yeah, it may not work for some people, but on that, it's a medication I have to show my ID for at the drugstore because it's that kind of a drug that it alters your mind so that it will put you to sleep. So for me to get that and my there's another med that requires my ID. Trazodone and simvastatin. Not Sims, no, Simpastin? Anti-cholesterol medication. I can't pronounce the name of it. Sebastian? Just to keep my cholesterol level down. Which I didn't know it was up, but last time I saw my doctor in the health wellness, which for me is coming up on the 27th, I got another health wellness appointment to go to, and the first thing she'll look at is, how's your cholesterol? Wasn't doing good last time. She kind of got upset with me. Said, Rick, what are you doing? Your cholesterol is off the charts. And you are taking your medication, aren't you? Every night. It's not working. Look at this. It's at 90s and it's supposed to be at 30. It's like, I don't know why it's so high. Don't look at me. It's like, you're eating something you shouldn't. Something that has cholesterol in it. I don't know. She got mad at me last time. Said, watch your diet. I don't know what she means by that, so. And I tried to ask her what she meant by that. She just got pissed off at me and said, Rick, if I have to explain this to you, you are not going to enjoy the conversation. So I didn't answer her. I don't know what she meant. Watch your diet. I admit I'm not good at watching what I eat, but I'm alive. That's all that matters, right? She told me, watch your diet. How do you watch your diet? Okay, Lori, whatever. Watch my diet, but you won't tell me exactly how I'm supposed to do that so I can lower my cholesterol. Watch your diet. She walked out the door. So I left. I don't understand her. She said, watch your diet. What do you mean by that? She didn't explain. She just kept walking away. I need to make sure that's the right fan header. I forgot where it's at already. Yeah, too much fast food. Yeah, that's what they say, but I know a guy that works at fast food. He eats fast food for the last 28 years, and his cholesterol ain't out of line. So it's got to be something different than that, Long Dog. Can't be just the fast food. That guy's worked at McDonald's for 20 some years, and he's been eating fast food for 20 some years. His cholesterol and everything's perfectly in line. So it's something different than that. I mean, maybe it isn't, but I don't know. He's worked at McDonald's for 20 some years, and that's pretty much all he eats is McDonald's food. He's not dead. The way my doctor's making it sound is if I don't start watching my diet, I'm going to curl up and die. So I'll have to ask her on the 27th exactly what the hell she meant because she left it in an open book and I don't like it when she did that. So I'm going to ask her point blank next time. She says, what the fuck did you mean? Watch my diet. Watch what you're eating. Watch your calories, count your calories, look for the or the cholesterol count, watch your salt intake, sugar intake. You've got to calculate each and every single one of these before you eat something. Oh, fuck that. I'm not doing that. No, 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 no. I'm not doing that. Nope. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm happy the way I'm doing. I'm not going to count my calories. Watch the cholesterol. Make sure the cholesterol from yesterday isn't too high from today. No, I'm not doing that. They want me to, but I'm not going to. You gotta have a sheet of paper and calculate everything before you eat. No, I'm sorry. I'm not. No. I'll starve to death before that happens. But then she's also surprised I'm not a flipping diabetic, too. So it goes both ways with her. I don't know. I think I'm too active. I think I'm too active in life to become a diabetic. I'm way too jittery. I don't know how I can be a diabetic as active as I am. Especially in the summer when I ride all those hundreds of miles. So there's strike two against my doctor. I think she's dead wrong that everything she's saying is what's gonna cause me to die in the next 2 years. I don't think she's right about that. I think she's wrong. I think I live well beyond that. She's claiming up and down, left and right. She says, if you don't change your ways right by 2027, you'll be dead. No, I won't. I won't be dead by then. But she's trying to claim that I will be. I won't be. I may not be in the best of health, but I'll be alive. God, I don't like this. Yeah, I guess that's how it'll go. I don't like doing it that way, but that's. I do not like this at all. I can tuck it back in here, maybe. Like that, maybe. Put your fingers right in the thermal paste. Yay. Yeah, that'll work. They ain't kidding when they say that thermal paste gets over everything. Wow. Didn't think that would stick like that. Oh, really? That one didn't go down correctly. That's about the best I can do to make it nice and pretty. Did the best I could with it, guys. I mean, there's not much I can do because of where ASRock decided to put that CPU header. I'm going to show you here in a minute. I don't like it at all. I don't like what they did. What the fuck is that now? Yeah, it's right there. You guys can't see a goddamn thing, but right next to the, you know where the HD audio is? Right next to that is the CPU header. Like, why would you put it there instead of having it up top where you should have it? It's down here right next to the HD audio as the CPU header. Dum 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 dum. But I'm not as rock can do as they wish, but I really don't like that. So we got that done today, and it's 3:25. God, I want to swap out that NVMe. I want to swap it out so bad and put that as for a storage, but I'll leave it in there. I'll see if it works. For the other build that I'm doing, the MSI, I need to find, somehow acquire Corsair RAM that will work for that MSI board. I think this Corsair Vengeance LPX will work. There's a little bit of concern as to how I put the memory in, that I may have cracked it. Bob looked at it. He said this one end of it was sitting kind of cockeyed, and the rest of it was straight. He said, I think you broke something when you put that memory stick in. So, as a precaution, I'm going to try some of this. I have some of this. I'm going to put it in that motherboard. It's only 32 gigs, but I'll get it up to 64 at some point in my life. I would also like to get a different hard drive. It's got an NVMe in there, but I want to keep the, see everything, the memory. Come on, brain, don't walk away from me like this. The memory. Can't remember. Yeah, okay. The NVMe. Those two I'm gonna swap out for probably NVMe. I'll probably get what's it called? The NVMe. It's called Samsung. There we go. Wow. I'll probably get a cheap Samsung, even though cheap Samsungs don't exist anymore. They're all very expensive. 1 terabyte. Get some more of this RAM. Vengeance RAM. The Corsair Vengeance LPX. This pretty much works universally at almost all motherboards that I put it in. Mostly, not all, but mostly the majority. This LPX memory. You guys can't see anything. I'm so sorry. You can't see it that way. You can't see it that way. But yeah, there you go. Here. This is what I normally get, the LPX, and I put it in any kind of motherboard. It works. So I don't know. Maybe it won't work for that MSI. Maybe MSI is a little bit more fidgety, and it won't work. But I don't see why it wouldn't. I don't know. You guys tell me. But that's what I plan on doing. So here's my list. When I can get this, I don't know. My family is complete. I'm having to shut down my Amazon Prime. So there goes me ordering anything on Amazon. So Amazon is out. Newegg's out because they've never heard of Newegg. They don't know anything about it, so they don't want me using it. I don't know, unless I can find someone locally to here to try to steal some stuff from them. That might be the only way I can get some memory. And 2, be quiet. Be quiet. PWM fans, 120s. I need 2 of those. Thermal paste. Memory. Fuck, I hate my parents. She had me shut it down the other day. Actually this weekend, Saturday. Um, because I'm paying an outrageous amount for Prime. It's one thing she said. You know how much you are paying for Prime, and you're not ever using it. No, I don't know how much is Prime. She told me. She said, Rick, you need to cancel that. There's no reason you should be using Prime at that price and not using it. Prime is for people that use Amazon every single day. I'm lucky if I use it 3 times a year. So she said disconnect everything. Shut down your Amazon account because you're really not using it enough. She just didn't like the Amazon Prime account. She said, you know how much you're paying for that? It's like, no, I haven't looked at my accounts in like 3 or 4 months. She said disconnect it. So me and Amazon, I guess I told her about the gift card. She said use it up, and then she said, I think you're done. I think I'm going to have to stop. But she asked me who I'm talking to be using Amazon. She said, who's talking to you when you're using this Amazon crap? Well, I talked to the Zoom homies. I talked to people on YouTube. A lot of people use Amazon. Like, I never use Amazon, so I don't know why you would need to. She does use Amazon. It's just been a long time since she has. Then my dad called, because my mom called my dad, told him. And then my dad called and said, Rick, if you're blowing that kind of money and never using Amazon, I would just shut it down. Yeah, but then once you do that, you can never get it back. Just make a new account. I don't want to make a new account. So, my dad said, do I have to drive up there a couple of months early this summer to talk to you about this? I said, no, Dad, you don't need to, but what if at the middle of the night I think of needing something? What if I want to order it? Like, then you need to talk to us before you do that. And more than likely, the answer will be no. Because my dad and my mom, both, especially my dad, he hates spending money. He absolutely hates spending money. My mom's dad, my grandpa, who's been dead for many years, always preached to my mom, spending money is a bad thing. And it's going to put our economy many years down the road in tragedy. Well, look where we are at today. He was kind of somewhat right about that. People buying things they can't afford. A lot of my friends here in town are living in houses they can't afford. And 2 of them now next year said they're going to have to put their house up for sale because they can't afford it. I don't know. I'll have to live by without Amazon as best I can. I don't know how I'm going to do it. This computer stuff may have to come to a stop, and I don't know. I got to talk to my dad again. Maybe I can twist his arm a little bit and maybe talk him into letting me have it, but he really doesn't want me spending the money on it. He said, you know, everything on Amazon has jumped in price from 3% to 50%. I said, yeah, I know everything's expensive. You don't need to be paying for anything on Amazon. Yeah, but what if I need a fan for a CPU or I need flashlights? They go to your local store and buy it. You can get it cheaper on Amazon. He wouldn't hear of it. He said, if I have to do this for you, Rick, I will, but don't make me do it. So eventually I'll have to shut down my Amazon and just live without it. He just doesn't want me spending money. He thinks it's a waste of time. He said, all you people on that Amazon thing, all you're doing is wasting your money. No, there's some of us that buy some pretty practical things on Amazon, like socks, for example, jeans, shirts. You can do that at your local store. Yeah, but that means I have to step out into the cold when it's 20 below to go get a pair of socks. I don't know. I guess my dad's going to come up here this summer and we're going to discuss it again. Which we're not going to discuss it. It's just going to stay the way it is. Both my parents are anti-spenders. Huge anti-spenders. They don't think anybody out on this planet should be out spending money the way they are. because everybody is out blowing their money. Which for the majority of people, yeah, they're out blowing money, buying useless things. I'm trying to buy things for my life that keep my life going in a productive way. Business-wise or just general health-wise. Just trying to keep life moving, and they put roadblocks in my ways. You can't spend money on this. You shouldn't be spending money on that. You definitely shouldn't be doing that. So we're going to shut all three down. Now number 4 is they want me to shut down Amazon. It's not going to happen, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's not going to happen. I still have $300 some left of that Amazon card, which I think I just might order a new motherboard for that amount. I'm going to try to stick to the $100 some amount. Maybe on the Zoom homies. There's your homework for tonight. I'm not saying that I will buy one, but just in case this one doesn't work, I need a replacement. But then I suppose you need to know the CPU that I'm using and all that stuff, don't you? Which I don't know. You would have to go back to Sean or somebody, whoever ordered the stuff, and... No, wait a minute. I have that... Yeah, I have it. Just hang on a minute, guys. Hang on. I think I have it. You won't need to go to Sean and say, what kind of CPU do you get for him? Because I have it. Just in case things don't work. I will want to have another CPU on hand. Sean G. The Intel Core unlocked. Very important. It's got to be unlocked. Not that I'm going to overclock it, but it's got to be unlocked. So I've got the CPU. It's the i5 14600K LGA 1700. Just find me a $99 board, $120 board to put the memory in this CPU. God, you guys can't see that. There you go. There's a closer look at the CPU. That's what I'm running on that MSI board. I'm just thinking I may have pooched that motherboard because I don't know how I did it, but Bob and Nate and everybody saying it's the way you put the screws in. That CPU bracket, everything twisted the pins, and a bunch of them on the right side just laid over. And he said, this is what you get for not knowing what you're doing. I told you not to do it that way. You didn't listen to me, so now it's your consequences. Next time you listen to me and I tell you don't do something, you don't do it. He didn't want me to put that hold down bracket on there, and I did anyhow. So he's mad at me. He said, I told you not to do it, but you didn't listen. Now you gotta get another motherboard. Well, yeah, that's because everybody on YouTube was telling me to put it on there. So I put it on there. 1 against $300 people. Who's gonna win? The 300 people telling me, go ahead, try to put it on there, Rick, see if it works. He said, you should never have done that. Well, it's too late now. He said, yeah, it's too late now, and he slammed my door shut. He's left. He walked out the door, slammed my door shut. Then I heard him yell, fucking asshole! Bob, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wreck it. I didn't do it on purpose, but now he's mad at me and he won't talk to me. Because I did something he told me not to do. He told me 5 times not to put something on there like that, because I talked to him about it, and he said, don't do that, Rick. It sounds like a waste of time. And I went ahead and did it anyhow. And I wrecked it. I don't know how I twisted the pins, but he took a quick look at it and said, nah, Rick, you're done. That's why I told you to never get into this kind of thing, because you don't ever fucking listen. You don't ever do what I tell you to. And he told me not to put it on there, and I put it on there anyhow. And somehow, just by that CPU getting pressed down on there, somehow the pins on the right or left side, or whatever he's talking, and just kind of all the pins just kind of just folded over. I don't know how. I don't know how that happened. I put in CPUs before and put the latch down, and it never did that. But this time, I don't know. But I was on a live stream distracted, so I only had one hand available, and I was trying to do it blindfolded because the motherboard was over there, and I was over here trying to do the live stream. So I took the CPU, and I kind of went over like this and dropped it in, and this finger this finger here bumped the pins on the motherboard. I didn't think it did until I felt it. Like, oops. So I tried it again, and then the fingernail hit it, and like, God dang it. So I walked over to it and then dropped the CPU, and then it went in fine. But I didn't see anything bent. I mean, I did look at it, but now when I tightened that bracket thing down, it did something. He said you had it misaligned or something because those pins shouldn't have folded over the way they did. Like, well, Sean told me you take the 4 screws out of the original bracket thing, put that CPU cooler, and put the same screws back in it. It's like, no, I don't think that's the way it's done. It's like, that's what he told me to do, so that's what I did. That's not how it works. So next time, if I do that, if I get another board, he's going to come over and do it for me. He said, the way you did, you just did it wrong. You don't put in CPUs. And he said the way I was taught on YouTube, the way I was taught to put your CPUs in, he said, no, he lines up, he's very specific. He goes to his his measuring machine, his oscilloscope or some whatever, and he looks at the pins on the CPU itself. And on the board, there's a CPU pin 0. And on the CPU, there's a LAN pin grid array or whatever he said 0. He gets those two perfectly aligned. He uses his oscilloscope or whatever. He can see inside the motherboard. He can see where the pins are mounted on the motherboard, which way they're facing. He can find pin number 0 and pin number 0 on the CPU. He lines them up perfectly. That's how he does it. And most people are off like this. And he said that's why 99% of CPUs out there don't work, because that CPU is not in the right position. He's very, very particular as to how you put CPUs. If you don't do it the way he does it, he will take it out in front of you and then do it, and he'll get the oscilloscope, look at the board, find pin 0, whatever he does, lines that up in the CPU, and then puts the CPU right, he says what he calls right on target, but he'll see it on his big, huge 48 or 50-inch screen that he has on his TV. And he'll just sit here and he'll play with the CPU, and he'll line up pin 0 on the CPU and pin 0 on this motherboard, whatever pin he's lining up. And when he gets it just perfect, click, that's when he puts the CPU in. He said, that's perfectly lined up. Then he puts it in. I don't know. He's just very particular. He was taught how to do that by the teacher here in Brainerd that does the CLC computer school or whatever. That used to be Bob's teacher, and I guess back then that's how he taught him how to do it. And that's what he does today, and that's why he says he has 0 CPU failures, because of how he does it. He looks inside the motherboard, he sees where the pins are connected on the motherboard, and he goes and finds pin 0, whatever he does. He described it, and he lost me, but that's how he does it. That's how he has these on the. He uses the oscilloscope or whatever. He lines things up perfectly, and if it's off by a little bit, he'll line it up to it, and then he'll just take the entire CPU and just drop it right on there, right where it should be, he says. And he said that's why his CPUs work better than everybody else, since everybody just kind of goes and squiggly puts it on there and then wiggles it. Well, you wiggle it, you take it right off pin 0 or whatever he was talking. He doesn't normally do that. He usually pushes it forward, is what he does. He said for him that works. He doesn't do the twisty you do, but he said don't do that. You're taking it off pin 0 or whatever he said. He's just particular about it. So he said next time you got a CPU, call me. I'll come put it in, because I'll line it up perfectly. The way he does it is 110% than anybody else I've ever seen. There's a guy in the Twin Cities that also using a oscilloscope or whatever you call that thing, and he looks inside the motherboard to see where the CPU pins are connected, and he'll line pin 0 whatever, and he'll drop it right on there, and said that's how you do it. I don't have that kind of equipment, so I just drop it on there and put the latch down, and they said that's why most CPUs break. I guess so. He's just very particular. That's all. But then so is Nate. He's got his quirks too about chords and things. He's just very particular. You don't have them out like this. You go, everything's in behind the board, and that's not always possible. You can't put everything behind the board. He says you can, but you're not gonna put that 24 pin connector behind him. But that ain't gonna work. He's just those guys are just different than the way you and I do computers. I just drop CPUs in the socket. Bob, he gets the setups, or he'll do it the technology way. I just drop them in there, and fingers crossed it works. And on the MSI board, it didn't work, so I'll have to somehow get a different board, in a couple of years or whenever I can afford one. And this time, Bob will come over, and he'll have all this kind of equipment, squaring tools, and all this, and he'll just perfectly drop it in. And he said, that's how it's in. Now it's in correctly. Now you can have your board and do whatever you want with it, but he said from now on, he'll do the CP. He just doesn't like how he doesn't like how anybody does it. He likes how he does it. He said, that's the way America should do it. Well, most of us don't have the equipment you have. Well, then they shouldn't be doing it. In his opinion, he thinks they shouldn't be doing it if they can't do it right. And he's just over the top is all he is. He's just over the top. Oh. The hell are you guys talking about on here? Yeah, but you when you cancel the Prime, it just doesn't take the $35. They also take their time in shipping it, so instead of 3 days, it would take like 10 days to get up here. That's the only issue. That one lady on Amazon told me, said if you cancel your Prime, you cancel your free shipping, it's going to take forever for it to get to you. So she said that's why most people have it, but even though it's kind of expensive. But that's the majority. That's why most people keep it. But really, to be honest with you guys, I'm not Amazon. I'm not on. I am not on Amazon enough to make it worth having Amazon. That's what she pointed out to me. My mom pointed out to me. Said, "Are you on Amazon even 2 times a year to make it worth using Prime?" No, not really. So then get rid of Prime. Yeah, but then things won't get up here in 3 days, and things are going to cost twice as much, and I don't know what to do about that yet. By the way, can somebody look up the price for Amazon and see what I am paying nowadays? I think it's what, 30 some dollars. I can't remember. Someone told me it shot up to 90 sometime. I don't think it's that much, but I could never get them customer service guys at Amazon to talk to me, and half of them I can't understand. They eventually just hang up on me because I keep repeating what they're saying because I don't understand them. They're from some foreign country. What do you say? Man, help you. What do you? No, never mind. Forget it. I just end the call because I can't understand them. Mine cost me $17.99 a month. I thought it was like 30 something a month. That's why she wanted me to get off of it. It's like 30 some dollars a month. Or that's what is projected to go up to is 30 some dollars. 17 ain't bad, but she's still barking about it. She said about 20 some dollars. If it was $3, she really wouldn't mind it, but if I'm not using it enough, $17 or whatever it is really is a waste of money. I said, well, you can't turn it on, turn it on, turn. You can't turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. Eventually, YouTube will stop you if you do it the third time. They're going to tell you either on or off or cancel your subscription, and more than likely, I just cancel it because I would have to shut Prime off after I get done with the order. But then 2 or 3 weeks later, if I want to order something else, I'd have to turn it back on. And then when I'm done with that order, turn it back off. And Amazon, I think, might have problems with that because they're having to turn it on and off, and I'm eventually gonna get a notice to either leave it on or leave it off. But that's what my mom said. Just order something and turn Amazon Prime back off. I think you can only do that so many times. I think. I don't know. I don't know. I've never played with Amazon like this, but she's asking me to. So well, if you're gonna use Amazon Prime, turn it on, then make your order, then turn it back off. Like, I don't think it works that way. Well, then you should probably shut down Amazon completely. I don't want to do that either. I don't know. Something will work out eventually. I just don't quite know what. Amazon Prime members cost $14.90 per month, or 100. Yeah, see, it's the $139 per year. I think there are also discounted membership options for students and government assistant recipients. That kind of leaves me out. Yeah, I think it'll work. I just have to hash it over with him a couple more times, and I'll win the argument with him. It's just Amazon may not be. I may have it, but I may not have the ability to keep using it. Like I said, both my parents are anti-spenders, and they want the rest of the world to be anti-spenders. They just don't like spending money, and they wish that they, because I've heard my dad say thousands and thousands of times, I hate spending money. He absolutely hates it. He goes and buys gas, he's bitching the entire time. This is $20. It could have been something different or something different. I gotta fill my gas tank. He goes buys food, he bitches about that too. Grocery shopping, gas station, clothes shopping, whatever. Dog grooming, he bitches about everything that costs him a penny. He just doesn't like spending money. I think that's why my mom doesn't spend money, because he used to brag at her, preach at her, and my grandpa, my mom's dad, always preached at her to not spend money. She always told me, my mom always said when I was a teenager, leave the money at home, you don't need to spend it. So she did. She left her money at home or whatever, never really spent money. It's kind of how she expects people to live nowadays. Leave the money in the bank, you don't need it. Well, she doesn't really understand that when you got people like me that do this kind of thing, you need to spend money every once in a while. And if I do spend it, it's got to be under a certain amount, and she's got to know exactly what I'm paying for. That's why she wants every receipt, everything that is bought, everything that is whatever. She wants a receipt of it, so she can track, make sure she knows where exactly every penny of every bit of money I have. She's got to calculate every single penny. And if she can't do that, she said, "Well, I can't exactly I don't exactly know how you're spending it, so no, you can't go out and buy it." But it's just down the road. He's just right down there. I can go. She said, "No, if I don't know exactly what you're spending it on, no, you're not buying it." No. That's my life. I'll quit bitching about my life. It's just the way it is. I got parents that are very restrictive on anybody on this planet spending money the way they do. They just don't think people should do it as often as they do. And they never have a good reason for spending money. So that's my parents. That's how they live. Now, as far as back to this computer case, and I'll let you guys go here in about 3 minutes. Um, I don't know what to do about this up here. I want to put a 16 terabyte drive up here and a 16 down here. Now how that's going to happen after this weekend's conversation, it may not happen. So this project here may have to go sit on the shelf for 5 or 6 months until I can figure out some hard drives. I was wanting to do the 16 terabyte or maybe 10 terabyte, but they both said no, you don't need that. Oh, the hell if I don't. I need to store this shit somewhere. I just can't have it on flash drives the way I do, and now half the flash drives don't work. Where am I supposed to keep all my pictures and photos? And they said, I don't know, but I wouldn't be doing what you're doing. So I may have to put this in the closet for a couple of months, and somehow this summer when I can afford to, as my mom says, legally go get a hard drive for this thing, I can do that. But she said for right now, no. So, and I wanted to put a different NVMe drive in this thing, but that's been put on hold. Because I tried to explain to my mom what an NVMe was. I didn't see the other thing. If I want to buy something, I have to try to explain to her what an NVMe is. She won't. She doesn't grab the concept of it. I've tried explaining it to her. I've told her. This is literally what I've told her. And she doesn't understand. I've told her this. An NVMe is no different than a SATA solid state drive. This is a hard drive. Her eyes rolled back and forth in her head, thinking, that's a hard drive. Hard drives bigger than that? Yes, you have the 3.5 inch. If I had one of those, I'd show you guys what that is. The old tech, the spinning rust. She looked at me and she said, spinning rust, I've heard that before. Well, I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about, but anyhow, go forward. At this point, I knew I wasn't going to get the answer I wanted because she didn't understand what the old spinning rust was. She doesn't understand what these are. So how the hell am I going to explain to her what an NVMe is? I didn't. That's why I don't buy NVMEs, because she doesn't understand what they are. For me to buy something and for her to approve it, she has to know exactly what it is and exactly why. Or she says, I can't let you do this. If you're wasting money on things on Amazon, this is why I'm stopping you. I don't know what you're buying. I don't know why. Do you need to know? Yes, I do. I need to know exactly where every single penny so that I can report it back to Manic. Alright, fine. If that's the way you want to do it, then fine. But see, what I may end up having to do, she's looking at my business account. And I didn't want her doing that, but she is. I don't think I can spend any more on my business account. But I was thinking of taking parts and ordering off my bank, but now she was going to look at that. It's like, well, how come $1,000 disappeared off your business account? Because I went and rebought some parts that I needed to buy. She said, yeah. So that's my life, but eventually I'll get over this hill and we'll go on with life, and I'll be buying parts again. And just right now, it's just my parents have me stop for some reason. And I don't know why. They think I'm wasting money. They think the economy is going to hell in a handbasket because people are doing what I'm doing and buying useless things. Nothing to help the planet. Well, I'm not here to buy to help the planet, and she kind of got mad about that. So don't you buy things that are economically green or whatever? It's like, no, of course I don't. I don't care about the economy and the electricity we're burning. Boy, she didn't like that. Oof. Oh my, I got into a half-hour argument on that one. How I should care more for our environment. Well, it's too late now. There's nothing we can do to save the planet. It's too far gone. But yeah, I got the cooler on there. As far as getting an OS on here, now here's the problem. I don't have a monitor. Because I have that one for OBS. And the two in there that have to be there currently, right now, both monitors in the living room are being used. I found out that TV won't work for a monitor. The signal things won't work. Bob and Nate checked on that already. They looked up and down on my TV. Said, no, you can't use this for a monitor. It won't. You're going to come out with a tiny little square. Is all you're going to get on that big monitor TV. All you're going to get is a little square of windows. I said, that won't work. And I said, nope, it won't. So I can't use the TV. And obviously this monitor here is being used, so what am I going to fire this up on? That's kind of where I'm stuck. And I need a good shovel, someone to shovel me out of this because I'm sinking fast. Like if I'm going to do the live stream and fire this thing up, I can't disconnect this monitor. But then I can't disconnect the two of the battery. Somebody have a monitor I can borrow? And what kind of monitor could we use on this? Looks like HDMI, DVI. The older connection, which I won't use. I won't use it. I'll use the DVI or the HDMI, but I don't have a monitor. So I'm kind of stuck. Yeah, someone have a monitor they want to send me? Preferably a 23-inch HDMI. That's all I need is HDMI. It's going to be a server, so I'm going to unplug the monitor when I get it working. This is going to be sitting off in the corner. I'll be able to see the computer on the network, but this won't ever be hooked up to a monitor. It's just going to be hooked up to the network, but to get that far, I need a monitor for this so you guys can watch it on live stream. So I make sure I don't make any mistakes while setting it up. Windows 11 setup I have never done yet before, so I've done it the Microsoft way, going through the internet, doing it that way, but I never took a USB plug, plugged it into Windows 11, and done the setup that way. That's a whole new adventure for me from what I saw on the internet. So again, as far as Windows 11 and installation on a USB, I have no idea because they completely changed. You gotta delete zeros, then add a zero back. That's your hard drive. Then the zeros below that have to be deleted. So you're only left with 1 0 that's... I don't know. I'll have to watch one of the Zoom homies go fresh and go through the steps with me, because that zero count thing, I'm not sure how to do that. Delete all zeros, then you add a zero, then go back to the bottom 3 zeros, delete those, then keep your top partition as your main hard. What? Now that I'm thinking about it, that don't make sense. Delete the top 3 zeros. The O's or the zeros or whatever, you delete the top 3. Then the bottom 3, and then you go to the top, add another one. Boy, they've really changed that. That's not how I used to do it in Windows 7. Never had to do it that way. But that's how I saw a guy on YouTube deleted all the zeros and he went back and added one and then added his hard drive partition. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I wrote him a note in the comments. Like, I said, dude, what the hell are you doing? You deleted all 6 zeros, then you went to the top and you added one. You marked that as your C drive partition. The only thing I wrote on there was what? And he said this is the only way people should be doing this, because you have to delete all partitions, all zeros, and then you have to go back and add the ones you need to use for the operating system. Huh? What the fuck are you talking? I've never installed Windows that way. Never. I've never had to delete partitions. Where is he getting that you delete partitions all 6? You can't do it that way because the last 3 zeros are your... Well, maybe I'm looking at it wrong. I thought the last 3 zeros were for the flash drive. But then you have to delete the top 3 zeros. Then you have to go back and add one. But yet you have to keep the bottom 3. And how the hell does that work? Never installed Windows that way. This is confusing. But anyhow, we'll install Windows on that with your guys' help. Because that 0 thing that you delete all zeros, then you add the one that you need that will be for your primary hard drive. Huh? I've never done it that way before. Never. I just hit I take my thumb drive, put it into a USB, hit go, Windows installs. Apparently you can't do it that way anymore. The zeros, whatever. Why can't we just go back to the way we did it with Windows 7? Insert the flash drive, hit the go button, install Windows. Very simple. Now you gotta go and delete and add a partition for the zeros that you deleted. You have to go back and add the one that's gonna be for your main partition of your hard drive. Yeah, you guys will have to help me out on that when I get to installing Windows on this. And all the videos I watched on YouTube, they're all pretty much the same. They delete all the zeros, then they go back to the top and they add the one that they want that they're going to use for their main partition of their hard drive. I'm lost. Really, really lost. Because the one I saw Kerry Holzman do, I think he only deleted 2 of the zeros, then went to the top one, highlighted that one, and that was... But then the other guy in that video said he'd watched that video and said you can't do it that way because it will go to the wrong partition. So he said delete all zeros, then go back and add the one that you will use only for your main partition of drive letter C. That's where he lost me. I'm not seeing where you have to go back and add a partition for the drive letter C that you will be primarily using. And that's what that guy said in that comment when he wrote back to me. I don't understand what he meant by that. You don't re-add anything. I'm going to let that go. I'm going to let you guys go. Because that Windows install for Windows 11 is just crazy. That one guy I saw, he deleted all zeros, then went back to added a partition that he said will be the main partition for the OS I think he may have been partitioning that drive or something, because I don't understand how he did that. Every other video I've been watching the incorrect ones. I know that because the way these people are doing it, they're deleting everything. They go back to the top. They add the ones that's going to be the main prayer one for drive C, for the partition of drive C. But then what do you do with the rest of it? You only have that one partition on that drive for drive C. You can't use the rest of the drive because you've got it blocked off. That partition would have to cover the entire drive. I'm confused. That makes no sense to me at all how he did that. But I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to go get something to eat, and we'll figure out the Windows 11 shit later. Maybe in 2 or 3 months when I get some money to put back into this thing and figure out a hard drive thing. So for that, it's only 4:11. 2, 3, 4. I said I was only going to go 2 hours. Then I'll go to 4:15 and kind of clean things up and let you guys go. But yeah, that Windows 11 crap, the way they're installing it nowadays is beyond me. I just like how we used to do it in Windows 7. Put the flash drive in, hit your go button, come back an hour later, it was all done. Now you have to do all this fiddling with partitions and adding and deleting, and that's just not how I used to do things. It used to be so easy back then, just bang, bang, boom, it was done. Now the way they're doing it, I don't care for it. You gotta add this, delete that, then re-add what you had deleted so it can be on the main partition that you're gonna use for drive C. That's what that guy kept saying over and over and over and over and over and over. After you've deleted all your zeros or all the whatchamacallits, go back to add the one partition or one thing that would be a primary drive of drive C. What? Isn't the whole thing C? And that's what I wrote to him. He said, no. When you do this, the partition. Yeah, that's how he had to have been doing his partitions, because I don't know. The way that guy and the way I saw the other guy do it, it's not the way you guys do it. The way you guys do it, they haven't adopted that idea yet. These people are doing it all differently. At least the one that I saw. I just clicked in and saw Windows 11 with ISO. And maybe that guy isn't on. In fact, I haven't seen his video. I went looking for it because I was going to show you guys, and I can't find him. Maybe what he was saying was garbage. Maybe the YouTube deleted him for false information. But I don't and I knew what he was saying was wrong, because he was saying you delete every single zero you have. Then you go back up to the top and you add the drive partition that you're going to use primarily for drive C. I knew when he was saying something was wrong. I don't think you delete all the zeros. I think you keep the one for your drive. But he said, no, you don't do that. You delete that one. Then you go back to add. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I like how we used to do things in Windows 7 a lot easier. Just hit the go button, it'll take care of itself. You come back and operating system be on your desktop. Now you've got to sit and babysit the thing. You got to click this, click that, click the OBS. And oh my God, the OBS. I don't even think I'm going to go through that. I'm just going to hook it up to the internet and do everything that way. See, the reason I'm kind of stalling on this, and this is kind of for Sean to hear, Because he's probably scratching his head thinking, why hasn't he gotten to my build yet? Why is he just sitting on it? You heard the reason why. I kind of foolbarred that. But also the reason I'm waiting is because I need parts. They're not accessible to me. What that computer is going to be used for, that MSI, is going to be for the main one in the bedroom. My Da Vinci computer. My shutter encoder is going to be on there. It's only going to be used for stuff that will edit videos. That's all it's going to be. It's going to have VLC on it. I'm not ready to shut that computer down yet. And that's why I don't want to do this until I know I have everything ready for that computer, and reordering things is what I'm going to have to do, which is not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But that's, Sean, why I've been kind of delaying this, because to shut that one down in the bedroom is such a big ordeal. Pretty much because everything's on it. All my passwords, everything I need. To shut that one down is kind of a big thing, because the minute I shut that down and then go rebuild this one, and then put that motherboard into one of these cases. I haven't decided what case I'm going to build into it yet. I just don't know how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to have to somehow get a setup out here. Little keyboard, mouse, a little separate table over here. I really don't know how to do that, though. This is why I need your guys' help. This is why I've been saying I need your guys' suggestions, because you might see something around here that would just click with you and say, I got the perfect idea, whereas I'm looking here and I've got no idea at all. You may look at this room and say, hey, I got the perfect idea and it's right there. Take that, connect to that, and then see, I don't have that kind of imagination. The kind of imagination I have is computers. I'll do what Paul Tuttle did. I'll sit here and I'll stare at it for an hour. Thinking, what do I want to do with this? The NVMe's there, the fan's there, that's there. What could I take this and move it down here and then come back up here? I just sit here and I stare at it. And I think, can this be rerouted behind this? But then can this be rerouted behind the motherboard? I know a lot of people think it's a waste of time, but that's what I do. I just sit here and I stare at it. What can I do? How am I going to build this so it looks right? Well, this is kind of it. This right here. That being it. NVMe CPU. This CPU in socket is fine. I've double checked that. The pins are fine. There's always things I'm not happy with. For example, this. I wish I could hide it somehow, but I can't. This here too. I don't like. I do not like that. It just feels like it's wiggly loose, you know? The USB 2.3 or whatever that is. It just feels like it's just loose. I don't like that, but it is connected. It's just makes me nervous. CPU fan, unfortunately, it kind of had its sheet and put it down here. I didn't want to do that, but didn't have a choice. My biggest concern, though, is I want to have the 216 spinning Rust hard drives, and it looks like I can't do either. I was thinking maybe down here, but that's not going to work either because of where this is. These wires here, maybe I could do something with this. I don't know. Um, yeah, putting the hard drives in there isn't gonna work. I thought it would, but once I get done wiring all this thing, and some of the wires are gonna have to go through this bottom one where the second hard drive would go. So I've got to rethink that. Um, God, I want to show you guys me starting this thing, but I just have no way of doing that. They know this one will start up. This one won't have any problems. That one, well, I've got money in my whatchamacallit. Let's go and order another one. Or Zoom homies. I'm gonna give you guys some homework here in a minute. Because if I did foobar that board, which I kind of think I did, um, I just can't do 2 or 3 things at once like I was doing in that live stream, and at the same time be reaching over and try to put a CPU into a socket. That was a stupid thing to do. I just wasn't thinking of it. It's like, well, I'm going to drop the CPU in here and reading chat at the same time, and well, my fingers bumped up against the CPU pins. And I don't damage a lot of them because I looked and there's only one that looked a little bit iffy. But then after I put that down pressure plate on it and it twisted somehow, and that was my demise. That was my demise. That was kind of the beginning of the end on that one. I just didn't want to put that pressure plate thing on there, and I was thinking, Bob told me not to do this, but I'm going to do it anyhow, just to satisfy Sean, because he asked me, if I give it to you, will you use it? Yeah, I will. He sent it to me, so I used it, and I shouldn't have. So, I've just got to have things closer proximity to me when I put that CPU, instead of stretching over like this and trying to put it in with the 2 wrong fingers. I was trying to put it in with this finger and my thumb, so I had it in there like this, and I don't normally do it that way. I usually have it like this, and then I go one corner of it, and then I just carefully place it in. Well, I was reached over like this, and I was like, kitty corner, boop. I just dropped it, and it didn't land right, but I can't reach over and try to pay attention to chat and type something on the keyboard at the same time, and at the same time putting in a CPU. But doesn't work. For some of you guys, you might be able to do it, but I couldn't, because I couldn't see what I was doing. I need to be, when I put a CPU, I gotta be directly right over it, so I can look straight down at the CPU and put that CPU socket in perfectly, instead of having to reach over it, praying to God I get one corner of it, which apparently I didn't. I thought I did. Yeah, you guys know the rest of the story, so I need to figure things out. I did try my best, Sean. I really did. I just can't do 3-4 things at once. Now in Zoom I can. I can sit here and talk and type and read something at the same time. That I can do. But when I'm trying to read chat, install a CPU at the same time while trying to do something else, that didn't work, because this arm here was bouncing all over the place while I was putting the CPU in, and I got one corner of it wrong, and I ended up dropping it because I slipped and like shit, kind of like that. And by the time I realized what happened, that CPU had fell, and yeah, I gotta be standing directly over on top of that CPU socket to put that CPU in. I can't do it the way I did do it. So I am talking about this one. Ow! That hurt. I gotta look for a new motherboard. And it's gotta be the K series. I don't take the non-K series. I don't do overclocking, but I'm not gonna take the non-K series either. This is the K series. See, it's the Z790. But then Bob also noticed to me. He pointed out. He said, I don't know what this means. Maybe you guys do. Maybe you guys know what this means. But he said, do you also know he got you the S series motherboard? That's not an S series. It's a Z series. He said, no. Look at the letters on the box. That's an S series. Why did he do that? I don't know. He's the so-called supposed tech when he buys motherboards. This is what he got me for the best money for the buck and for what I want to do. He said, I wouldn't have gotten you this one. That's you, Bob. You do things differently. I know what you would have done. You would have gone to the bottom of the barrel. You would have gone to that one company you always do. You would have gotten a used one of these for like $65. Charged me $75 for the motherboard. And that's how he does things. He just... So, that's just my gripe about what he said. He said, why did he get you the S series, brother? Well, he didn't. He got me the Z set. I don't know. But he's bitching about that, and I don't know why. He said he got the S series Wi-Fi or whatever. It doesn't matter. It all works the same, doesn't it? He said, technically, no. The series before this, I said, it's fine, Bob. It'll work. It's fine. Think what you want. Slam! That was the other night. He left here all pissed off at me again. Because we got into an argument about this. And I told him it's fine. He said, fine. Believe what you want to be. And slam! Bob, quit slamming my fucking door. But he left mad at me twice. He left Friday. He left Saturday. And he left today just scratching his head trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. I said, I don't know what I'm doing. This is just what other people do. I'm just copying them. Been doing that copying thing for 22 years, and I seem to be doing fine. And maybe I did break that one. Hoping I didn't. Maybe I did. Yeah, I think that's all. I think it's just this heat thing up on top. I think that's what he heard snap. I don't think I broke the memory. No, that looks perfectly fine to me. That looks perfectly fine. There's no cracks in that at all. I don't know what he thought he heard. But this heat sink on here, that's what he might have heard clink a little bit. I don't think I broke it. I think he was just hearing things and he didn't like hearing things. I think this memory's fine. I don't think I broke it. I don't think I did. Maybe it was this... I don't know. Him and I both heard it at the same time, and he spun his head around. He said, what was that? Like, I don't know. And I think the memory's fine, but I don't know what that huge crack was when I put this in here. I put my fingers on it like Harry does. He said push down with the left side and push down. When I came down with the right side, I heard a that I'm not supposed to hear, and that's what he heard. And he said, what the hell was that? Like, I don't know. So he took it back out, he looked at it, it's like, I think you might have broke it. I don't know if he was talking about the socket or the memory. Memory to me looks fine. I don't think he heard anything, really. Ow. I'd have to look at the socket, but I think the socket on this thing is fine. I don't know what he heard, and I don't know what I heard. But when I came down on this right side to snap it in place, we heard more than a snap. don't see a thing wrong with that at all. No, there's nothing wrong with the memory. The memory is just fine. What the Sam hell did we fucking hear? Perfectly. That went in perfectly. That time, that went in better. Then why are these two memory sticks pointing towards each other? This one looks like it's just leading this way. And you see the gap isn't as narrow here as it is at this end. This gap at this side of the memory sticks is wider than what it is over here. It narrows. It's not supposed to be like that. I don't know. It just looks wrong. But yet, I don't see anything physically wrong. But yeah, that memory stick is leaned off this way a little bit. Not supposed to be. But it looks fine to me. But this end doesn't look the same. I don't know. I think it's fine, but I don't know. It looks fine to me, so we'll find out when I figure out a way of testing this board. You know what I may have to do? Go get a different monitor. That's what I need to do is get a keyboard, a mouse, and a monitor. Because I actually have nothing else to use, guys. I have to keep this monitor hooked up because of this, because it does monitoring things of other things, so I can't really shut this. And that's why I can't really shut the one in the bedroom down. It's doing things in the background I kind of need, but oh, I don't know. Decisions. I think I'll get this one running first. Tony's. This is his build. I just don't know what I'm going to do for a hard drive. I just know I need to get the movies and everything off of this one. Because both these hard drives on both these two desktops, the one in the bedroom and this one, they're starting to get up there in age. They're about 6 years old on those hard drives, and around the 7th, 8th year, I need to replace them, so that's why I just wanted to replace the one in the bedroom with something more current, which this one is. Definitely more current. It's also DOA. I think. We haven't tested it yet, but I'm pretty sure I pooched the pins, and that's why he said this end is laying lower than this side, because those pins aren't no longer aligned. It's sitting in a void, so it just kind of went down at an angle. I said that's why this side is perfectly flush, and this side you can catch your fingernail on it. And this one you can't, and this one you just, this one you can. That's just something he noticed. It's something he does on every computer. That's what he does. He takes 1, 2, 3, and he kept sliding his finger over this, and I said, "You got something wrong in there, buddy. I don't know what you did, but there's something fucked up there. That I don't know what I did, Bob. I put that CPU in like I do every other CPU, and this one came out different. I don't know what it is. You didn't do it right, is what it is. And fine, you tell me, how many different ways are there to put in a CPU? He said none. There's only there's only one legal way of doing that. And nobody on this planet does it the way he does. That's why he's particular about it, because so many people have brought him back broken parts, bent CPUs, is because they don't do what he does. He said that's why 99% of people fail on computer building, because of the CPU. They screw that up, they might as well just throw it away because they didn't do it right. They don't do it the way I do it. So he calls it a failure. This, he said, is a failure. You didn't do it right. In this outer bracket thing that Sean Kidd gave you, he said, yeah. He said that's kind of what destroyed it. He said for some reason that CPU wasn't in there perfectly straight, and when I put this bracket down on it, it pushed down on those already damaged pins and just folded the rest of them. He said that's why it's sitting crooked. If the pins on this side are flat, the pins on this side are all sticking still straight up, and the ones on this side are all kind of folded over because I put this bracket thing on it, which I think has nothing to do with it at all. He's just not familiar with it. He didn't want me to use it, and I went and used it anyhow and paid the price. So at least I can find a cheap motherboard for $89 or $99. I think. Maybe I can't, but that's all I'm going to put into this is $99 or $89 if I can find one. I'm not going to go to AliExpress and buy one. That's a fucking stupid thing to do. So, but it is 5:37. Yeah, I'm going to go here in a couple minutes, cut it at 5:40. I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of talking. You guys are probably tired of listening to me. So, that's my story, guys. That's every build I do, it gets re-examined by 6 or 7 eyeballs, and half the time they take it back to their shop and they redo it because I did something wrong. It's like, no, you installed the memory wrong. Let me take it back to my shop. I'll just take them back out and pop them back in. Then I know it's done correctly. That's just the way these guys are. I mean, I've taken people's builds and I brought it back here because they're like, no, there's something wrong. Let me do it my way and I'll bring it back to you in the morning. And that's what they do when I put this memory in. Bob wants to take it back to his shop and test this memory socket to see if it's working, because I don't know what we heard, but both of him, his head spun around just the second he heard that noise. His head was just immediately, he spun around, and I looked up at him and was like, what was that? It's like, I don't know. We take that memory stick back out. And we took it back out, but I don't know what he heard. I don't know what I heard, but it made a horrible, horrible click and then a crunch, and it sounded like something cracked. And that's when he heard the crack, and he said, take that memory stick back out. I can't see anything wrong with it. So, that's my story, guys, and I'm sticking to it. That's the original story. That's the only story I'm going to give you is I don't like the CPU pin bracket. I don't like these hold down. I will use it because I told somebody I would, but I mean, I like how do I say this? I don't want to insult people. I want to give them compliments for sending me stuff like this, but I've never installed one of these, and apparently I did it wrong. That's why Bob said you get another one. I'll come over and put it in, because you have to hold this bracket in a certain angle while keeping it. Just, he doesn't trust them, that's all. He said they don't hold it perfectly still. It sits there and it rotates. And when the CPU was in the socket, all it had to do was just move a little bit. All those pins in there on the one side here just kind of just peeled over. And he's not going to sit there and take 3 or 4 pins and straighten them back out and charge me $205, he said. He said he's not doing it. So, fingers crossed, guys, this one works, but I don't know. All we can do is hope, right? So, so this one here, the microwave, I'll get that one running. We'll just not have any hard drives in it. I got the one NVMe in it, and I'll have to do it for now. At least I can try to get it up on the network and see if I can get it to see the network and see if I can get one computer to talk to this one or vice versa. That's the other thing. I don't like network stuff. So, again, the Zoom homies. See, with a home office compared to this kind of garbage, home office, all they are is just plug and play. You plug it in, turn it on, it goes. Home networks, you get a. I don't know. I've always had to play with it. I've never gotten one computer to see another computer say, "I see that desktop over there. It's sitting there in the living room." Never gotten a network of my own to do that. I can get an office network to sit after I play with it for 15 hours. I can get one computer to talk to another computer. Those two computers will both talk to the router. They both acknowledge the router is there because they see it. I put it on the network. I tried doing that at home, but I can't get it to work. This computer won't talk to this one. This one won't even see this one. And this one in the living room won't see the one in the bedroom. It's just a spiraling mess. And go into a home office network and biddy bing, biddy boom, done. And I walk back out the door, their network works. I get to mine, nothing wants to work like it's supposed to. And Bob tried to hook up my network sharing thing or whatever you call it, and he just immediately stopped. He said, "Rick, I'm not even going to mess with this mess." He said he's going to have to reconfigure everything on every computer because he said it's messed up. So him and I are going to have to sit here one of these days for hours and hours and hours and hours just to get this on the network. Then we get this computer to talk to this one to talk to this one, and the one in the bedroom. Yeah, I might not have any hair left at the time we're done, but we'll get there. We'll get there. It's just gonna take a lot longer for setup on this computer. Maybe this one. I don't know what I can do with this one. Yeah, if my parents hadn't thrown that wrench into everything, that the Amazon account has to get shut down. Because of them, I'm just not using it enough. I said, if you're not using that Amazon account, Rick, just shut it off. All right. So if you guys don't see me on Amazon next week, well, that's why. Because my dad finally called me and said, "Hey, Rick, I noticed your Amazon is still running. Shut it off." All right, fine. Then I'll just sit here in the corner and shed tears for the next 3 hours because they shut my life off, but they just don't want me spending money. They just don't approve of it. They think it's a very bad thing. Spending money is bad. Very bad. You don't do bad things. Okay. So, that's my story, guys. I'm going to go find something to eat because I'm kind of hungry. It's 4:44. Yeah, it's been kind of that kind of day. Kind of interesting, kind of nerve-wracking because Ken and I had to try to get this whatchamacallit running for YouTube, and needless to say, that was not adventurous at all. That was headache number 9, because what was happening shouldn't have been happening, and yet it kept happening over and over and over and over and over and over. So when I tried it and everything went south, it couldn't connect to a stream, or couldn't So I told him, this is what happens to me, but whenever you do it, it doesn't happen. Like, he tried it 2 times today. He got the error message. Something went wrong. Like, what? You're doing it on my computer, it's happening to you, so I know it's not just me. I'm not the one that's causing the issue. Ken had the same issue. That error message, something went wrong. Or there was another message, you couldn't start the stream because of whatever. I just hope it gets easier after this. I'm kind of tired of fighting with the YouTube crap and the OBS. Just want to come in here, start a live stream, hit one button, boom, you're live. But no, the way they've got it set up is you got to go through this rigmarole. Then you got to shut that off. Go back into OBS, turn the live streaming back on. Go to your broadcast, which... Setting up a broadcast. What's the difference between the broadcast and the live stream? Aren't they the same thing? Maybe not. I don't know, but he eventually got it working, and here I am. I am hoping tomorrow we will not go through this nightmare. I just want to get into OBS, hit live stream, bada bing, bada boom, I'm live. But it hasn't been working that way. Didn't work that way for Ken for at least 2 or 3 times. So maybe tomorrow I'll have an easier time with this. This has been kind of a headache, which is why I like doing uploads. There's no headache to uploads. You just record it and boom, you're done. Live streaming? Wow. That's a whole different ball game. It's all new to me. I haven't done this live streaming. I did one live stream maybe a year ago for like 5 minutes, and then just immediately hung up because it's like, what the hell am I doing? With the live stream, go do something different. So I did. I just wanted to get a live stream in the books. So it's recorded that I did a live stream about a year ago. But then lately I've been thinking, the only way people are ever going to believe you did something, the way you did it, is they have to see what you did. And the way they see what you did is live streams. Well, we can see how that's been going so far. I just can't do it on my own. It's a 2-step process. You have to go into YouTube, get that all set up, then shut it off, get it out of the way, set it aside. Then you take your pans, you put it on a different burner, you set that one aside, take this one, put it in the forefront, put all your ingredients in and start cooking with that. Well, it's kind of the same thing with this. I set up... Oh, God, here we go. I just forgot everything. Set up... I just go into... I forget how he said it, because I asked him, do I just go into OBS and start my live stream? He said, no. Go into YouTube, set up YouTube, schedule it, turn off YouTube, then go into go into YouTube, set up the time, schedule the time for the live stream, shut YouTube off, go into OBS, hit live streaming, go to broadcast, select your broadcast, then go to the bottom, hit that, you're good to go. Yeah, I'll have to practice that 1,000 times before I get it right. I'm getting there. I'm getting closer, but I'm just not memorizing every little piece there is, so we may have to go through this rigmarole all over again tomorrow. I'm hoping by Friday, Ken doesn't have to exist at all. I can just start this whole thing on my own and we'll be happy, but the way things have been going, Ken may just want to be on the sidelines just in case I screw this up. I don't have it quite memorized just yet. Um, the other thing I've been doing that I really, it's that preference thing he said, but other people I've talked to said the only way you should be doing it is this: there should be only one way of doing it, and nobody here in this building likes the way YouTube is managing how you set up live streams. There should be only one option. You just click, click, boom, live stream. But the way they've got it set up, you have to go to one section, set that up, close that, go into another section, then do that, then close that, then go to OBS, then go to the live. I will have to go through this again tomorrow, but as I get closer, so I'm hoping maybe by Friday I can just hit the go live button and I go live and I'm happy, but that's not the way it's been going lately, so but we're close. We're that close to getting it done on my own, but not today. And then Ken saw the problems I was having because he was having the same error messages I was, and I think at a certain point he just wanted to throw the entire thing away and say forget about it. I'm almost to that point of saying just fuck it and just not do this. There's no money to spend anymore, so I don't know if it's really worth doing this. I mean, I'd like to, but if the money's not there, I'll probably just disappear. Get off YouTube and get off Zoom. Because there's no fun in doing anything if I can't spend the money to do the things I want, so I don't know. I gotta think about things, guys. I gotta think of how I'm gonna do things and move forward from there. So, but in the meantime, yeah, I'll see you guys tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna run too. So I was just gonna go to 5 o'clock, but I think I'm going to call it quits. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'll do with the Prime, Amazon Prime. I don't know what I'll do with that, but it's gonna get shut down eventually because there's no way around it. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up. I don't think there's anyone here left anyhow because I've chased everybody away. Um, yeah, I'll be on Zoom tonight, so I'll see everybody later tonight. Now, how do I shut the stream off? Okay, I got 0 drop frames. That's good. How the hell do I? Yeah, I'll see you guys later. I'm trying to figure out how to muster this thing into shutting off. Stop streaming. Well, first we're gonna stop recording. Yeah, the red button, but there is no red button. Okay, stop recording. Bye, guys. I'm gonna stop streaming. Maybe. Maybe.